the solution. Yeah. Morning! The next day, Magari arrives at the office around noon and enters the reception room with her usual greeting. Usually Yagumo would be sipping coffee here around this time, but he's not here. He was late yesterday too. Maybe he's still asleep. And I told him to put his mug in the sink, but it's just out there on the table. Jeez. What a messy dick. Director, are you here? Here? If he's not in his room, then... Magari timidly opens the door to the editing room. There she finds... Who? An exhausted Yagumo lying face down on the desk. How long had he been checking the footage? Yagumo is not even twitching. He looks like he's dead. Magari fearfully approaches, but she freezes in place when she spots a scrap of paper on the desk. What's this? It appears to be a sort of mystery code written in Yagumo's handwriting. This looks like a load of nonsense. Director, did your brain overheat or something? Hell no. Director, you're awake! Yeah, I was checking the film under a minute ago. I finally understand everything. Huh? I figured out the trick they used to get the ghost to appear. I know how they made the ghost appear. For real? For real. Now let's head out. Gonna go shove it in that trickster's face. Wait, we can't go right now. Why not? What do you mean, why not? It's dangerous. Dangerous how? Anyway, go take a shower and get changed. You reek because you've been up all night. Riding in the van with you when you're this smelly is going to be dangerous to my nose. Ah. Okay. 1 hour later. As she stares lovingly at him as usual. One shower and change of clothes later, Yagumo and Magari board the van. So, where are we headed? Someone involved in this case has been feeding all of us the wrong information. One wrong piece of information is an accident, sure, but several pieces, that has to be intentional. Intentional. So someone's been deliberately lying to us. Yeah, the mastermind behind the whole case. This mastermind's been hiding the truth and it's time we make him spit it out. I see. Are we going to Ibuse? I think it's Ibuse. Is it Ibuse? I don't know if it's Ibuse. The two of them stand before Mihokan. We're up against a big shot, Director. You sure we'll be okay? Who cares if he's a big, medium, or small shot? I respect Director Ibuse, but I respect the truth more. It must be known. Ain't that the truth? They look at each other in the eye and nod as they confidently step into Mihokan. So? What's there to say that wasn't said yesterday? I told you I've got nothing to say about the film. With Hiroshima at his back, Ibuse greets them, seemingly displeased at the sudden appointment. But Yagumo speaks up, unshaken. You see, Director Ibuse, I just found something I need to talk to you about at all cost. And that is? Basically, the question is, what was the true purpose of that film? Ooh, max mode. Here we go. What do you mean? Director, you said the film was cursed by a ghost, but what could a fake ghost shot with a film trick curse exactly? Fake? I don't know what you're talking about. You checked the film, didn't you? There was no evidence it had been edited. True, but there was no evidence the film was edited, but an on-set practical effect wouldn't leave any. In fact, you have some sharp teeth, boy. In fact, for a film by a director of your caliber, there were many unnatural techniques used. First of all, what was the purpose of that cut of the actress from inside the window frame? That was... Right, that was to show the perpetrator peeking out from the house by the pond. The perpetrator hired a hitman to kill the woman. He hid in the nearby house to watch the deed with his own eyes. Maybe. There's no such house by the pond. Uh-huh. There's no building anywhere near where that camera was set up. I went to the location myself. And I've got testimony from a local that there hasn't been any construction there for decades. If what you're saying is true, Director, does that mean you deliberately built a set there? Besides, why would someone who hired a hitman deliberately go to the scene of a crime instead of going somewhere else to make an alibi? It doesn't make any sense script-wise. Let's set that aside for now. It's not the only odd directional choice of the film. But when I realized why it was necessary, the whole trick became unraveled. Go ahead and call it a trick, but it frustrates me that you call my directorial choices odd. Tell me what you mean specifically. Very well, in that case... That's because... What was the intention of the telephoto lens? As far as I can see, it serves no purpose at all. It doesn't make sense to build a set for the shot and then only ever show the window frame. Combine the window frame and the telephoto lens, and you've got the keys to solving the trick. Attach the window frame to the camera like so. And no matter how much you move the camera, the window frame stays put, so the audience can't even tell the camera was moved. In other words, it wasn't even a building set, it was just a window frame. You get two actresses, one at point A and the other a bit further away at point B, with the ghost actress on standby behind her. You can't tell there are two actresses since their faces are covered by raincoat hoods in this scene. Shine a spotlight at the camera from the woods, and when the lightning whites out the screen, you move the camera from point A to point B. And that's how you create the scene with the instant ghost appearance. So basically the telephoto lens was used because it's the most effective way of moving from A to B with the least amount of camera movement. What do you think? I should explain every oddity of the film. Every oddity of the film. But how do you explain the ghost standing on the surface of the pond? That was... That's not something a director should say. Clear acrylic boards work wonders, you know. I should explain how everything could be shot without an actual ghost. What do you think? But even if your hypothesis is plausible, it's not proof. You proved the possibility of it being fake, but you haven't proved that it actually is fake. True. I've only been talking about possibilities, so far, that is. But if I can expose a decisive lie of yours, then the possibility only becomes more probable. A decisive lie. Yes, that film isn't even from that 10-year-old project in the first place, is it? What? On what basis can you say that? That film is unmistakably what I... No. We checked the registration of the company whose name's on the side of the truck in that film. It's a shipping company established 8 years ago. In other words, there's no way that film could have been shot 10 years ago. Ugh. Director Buse, why did you lie to us? If you really were involved in the project 10 years ago, that means you went so far as to fabricate a film just to hide the truth. Why? What could have driven you that far just to cover up the truth? Ugh. I win. Ibuse limply hangs his head. Hashima and Magari are left stiff and speechless in the presence of Yagumo's intensity. Heavy silence rules the room. But then... Huh? A somewhat familiar cheerful tone can be heard from outside the room. The door slams wide open and... Hey, okie dokie! Good work, everyone! With a cheerful greeting, in walks Isogami, blaring radio cassette player in hand. What? Isogami? Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. Let's introduce our cast once more. Written by and starring director Izaya Ubuse. Thank you. Wow, that was intense, but I'm glad I was able to act my part. Huh? Production assistants and co-starring Monami Haishimi. Yagumo Magari, I'm sorry for deceiving you. Huh? And finally, planning and direction by me, Hiroki Isagami. Isagami, Haishimi, and Ubuse hold hands and bow to Yagumo and Magari like actors in a play. Yagumo stares dumbfoundedly until the song ends, and he snaps back to his senses. What? Isagami, what kind of farce is this? What's the meaning of this? Sorry, Maxie. This is all an act to test you. What? Whoa, what do you mean an act? We were seriously trying to uncover the truth. I know. Calm down. This was all for Maxie's sake, you see. For me? Yes, remember what I said? One staff member was against this. Well, they weren't against the project itself, but rather your appointment to it, Maxie. After all, while you might have talent, you still lack a reputation, Maxie. Okay, but still, why all this? Basically, the condition was you pass the test by correctly identifying the film as fake, and why? To shoot a mystery, you first need the wit to solve a mystery of at least what that caliber, see? So, So we looked for a suitable shelled film for the test and developed the story behind it. This was all Director Ibuse's suggestion, you see. It was your idea, Director Ibuse? I heard from Isogami that someone was opposed to your appointment, so I talked to them. I recognized your skill, and as a veteran, I had to promote upcoming talent. So I went with the premise that I shot the film, even though I had nothing to do with it. Sorry for deceiving you, please forgive me. Director. So does this mean Maxi's appointment is official? Of course, the project's already been greenlit, so you can get ready to shoot immediately. Let's make this project a success. It's time to get poppin'. You did it, Director! This is our big chance! Yeah, I'm still a little overwhelmed. I'm mad that I've been deceived, but it was all from me, so I don't know how I should feel. In any case, you and I have both been chosen as directors, so let's make the project a success. Okay. Yagumo firmly grips Ibuse's outstretched hand. And thus, today is the day that Max Yagumi officially became a director for the new Shimane TV Mystery Drama Project. Ooh. Yagumo Part 1 Epilogue. Okay, stretch. Adjust. I have a long torso. Several days later, Yagumo visits Sayama at the archive center to check on something. You were in on it too, huh, Sayama? You guys really pulled the wool over my eyes. I feel bad, but it was funny, gotta admit. I got on board since it was fun distraction. So we've established that the film was a fake, but what about the real decade-old footage? Who knows? Might be buried here somewhere. Not even I know how many tapes we've got here. I see. Is that all you wanted to ask? Oh no, one more thing about that film keeps bugging me. I heard you figured out all the tricks, though. No. Thank you. Stretching is important. Iris! 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 Chill, boo-boo. Shake Alfred. Shake him till he's dead. No, the truck's still bothering me. Oh, that, huh? Yes, from our investigation, we learned that the truck belonged to a real shipping company. But you wouldn't use an actual company's truck to film a murder scene, would you? Looks like you've already come up with an answer. Yes. That was an accident on location, and that woman really was ran over. Sama quietly takes a sip of his tea before he murmurs in reply. Well, you find a lot of crazy shit lying around this place. So the one truth in this charade was that the film was indeed cursed, huh? Yagumo simply nods before he respectfully bows and excuses himself out of the room. You didn't upset the doggo, you just made her playful. Hi, give me a kiss. No? No kissy the red lips? That was chapter 1. Well, not chapter 1, part 1 of many chapters in part 1. Ooh. Perhaps I will start part 2 here in a second, but I must use the restroom. But for people on YouTube, I'll probably end it here because that's a lot. So people on YouTube, see you next time. People on Twitch, just hold your horses, I'll be back.